Hola mi gente, NinjaPicante here, and welcome back to another video. So no book recommendation this week. I haven't been in much of a reading mood, but today I will be having a movie recommendation for you guys so you can pass the time. Before we get into that though, who's hungry? I certainly am, and I hope you guys are too, because today we're going to be having some homemade taquitos and chimichangas. Before I continue though, shout out to one of my little sisters for making these. She apparently found a recipe online, and these include shredded chicken, cream cheese, jack cheese, diced chili peppers, a little hot sauce, and I'm not sure what else. So she decided to make them, freeze them for a later date, and now I'm gonna fry them up. But I can't completely mooch off of her, so I will be showing you guys 3 simple dips that you can make to go along with these. I'll be making a super simple guacamole,
also known as guac,
a sriracha sour cream dip, and a super simple queso dip. So let's get started. I'm going to begin with the easiest one to make, which is the sriracha sour cream dipping sauce. All you're gonna need is some sour cream. This is maybe a 1/4 cup. A bit of sriracha hot sauce. Add as much or as little as you like. I want it to give it a nice bit of flavor, so I'm gonna add a decent amount. Just a sprinkling of garlic powder. And a little bit of lime juice. Now we just mix it together.
whip it through the glass, whip it through the glass.
And there you have it, done. Now we'll move on to the guacamole, which I'll be making with 1½ avocados. There's a very important reason why I use 1½.
Which is I have an extra half avocado and I want to use it so it doesn't go bad.
Gotta preserve the oro verde. To which I'll be adding a little chopped onion, half a serrano, and some more lime juice, as well as salt and pepper. And now that we've dumped everything into the bowl, we're just gonna mash it up. And there you have it. A super simple and quick guacamole hecho en casa. I would have added a bit of tomato as well.
But I'm fresh out.
And now on to the 3rd super simple dip. For this one, you only need 3 ingredients. Some canned beans that have been drained and rinsed. I used red kidney beans because it's what I have, but if you have pinto beans or black beans, those will work just fine. A can of Rotel diced tomatoes with habaneros. Honestly, you could use any brand you can find at your local grocery store. I am using Rotel because it's what I have on hand. You could also probably use fresh diced tomatoes and habaneros, but I want this to have that nice processed, bad for you taste. And finally, you're gonna need a block of easy to melt processed cheese. Now, I definitely won't be using all of this because it's way too much, but I'll probably use about 1/4 of it, maybe a little bit more. And so we're just gonna throw all of this into a pot, let it melt, and that is our 3rd dip. I'll record this next little bit, but I won't be able to speak while I'm actually making this 3rd dip and frying up the taquitos and chimichangas. One of my sisters has to work from home because of the pandemic, so I have to try and keep quiet while I'm in the kitchen. I'll make sure to include a few little messages though, for your entertainment. Now I present to you the finished product. So as you can see here, I have 2 chimichangas for myself. I've made 5 of the taquitos for myself. Here we have the queso dip that has the kidney beans, chopped chilies, and tomatoes. Here we have the sriracha sour cream, and of course our homemade guacamole. So let's dig in. I think I'm gonna go ahead and start with one of the taquitos right here. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and start with the queso dip. All right, here we go. First bite. Provecho. That was a crazy cheese overload. Not bad, actually. I get a little bit of heat from the queso sauce, not so much from the taquito itself. Let me go ahead and just give it a bite solo. You know, that's pretty good by itself too. The chicken is quite nice, actually. I was expecting a little less flavor, I don't know why, but you know, this is fried and it's good. Now I'm gonna go ahead and try one with the sriracha sour cream.
Dip.
All right, here we go. First bite. Provecho. And that was nice too. The sriracha gives it a nice little spice in a different way. There's a bit of tang from the sour cream as well. I get a little bit of the lemon juice.
I think I like it.
And I feel like I got a very nice fry on these tortillas. Listen to this crunch. Now I'm gonna go ahead and give the chimichanga a try, and I'm gonna dip it into the guacamole. And I'm gonna try and get a healthy amount. Ahí está. First bite. Provecho. Not quite the crunch of the corn tortilla. This one has a slight crunch. Still nice though, it's a bit flakier. Slightly more of a buttery taste, oddly, because of the flour tortilla, and the guacamole adds some nice richness and freshness to it. I think I'll go ahead and give the chimichanga a 3.5 out of 5 picantes, and I'll give the taquito a 4 out of 5 picantes. Now that we've tried the food, let's munch and chat a bit about my Netflix recommendation for you guys today. También conocida en español como El Hoyo. Currently streaming on Netflix, The Platform is a horror sci-fi kind of thriller film that was directed by Galder Castelu Urrutia, starring Ivan Masage as Goreng, the protagonist, Sorion Eguilor, Alexandra Mazanque, Antonia San Juan, and Emilio Boale Coca. One more bite before we continue. The film begins with our protagonist Goreng waking up in a concrete cell marked with the number 48. He discovers that he has a roommate named Trimagasi, who explains to him that they are in a tower-like jail, with a hole that runs through the center of every single room going downward. Every day, a platform descends through all the cells carrying a lavish feast. However, only the top levels get to have the feast untouched, seeing as the food is not replaced as it descends. Rather, whatever is left is what the people on the lower levels are forced to eat. It's explained to Gorg that even though what they get is only scraps, 48 is still a good level as there is still food available on the platform once it reaches them. However, when you get to the much lower levels, things become much more desperate, as there is rarely, if ever, even a scrap of anything left for the prisoners in those cells. It is also impossible to hoard food, as if you take anything off the platform and don't eat it before it descends, your room will immediately start to become burning hot or freezing cold, thus killing you, unless you drop the food down onto the platform. Get me a bit more guacamole.
Yes.
Adding to the ordeal, every month all the prisoners are reshuffled throughout the entire tower, which means that 1 month you can be in a very favorable position at the top of the tower, and the next month you can be in very dire straits if you find yourself in one of the lower levels where there is little to no food at all. We find out that our protagonist Goreng has volunteered to serve a 6-month sentence, after which he will receive some sort of degree or certification, which is not fully explained to us in the film. However, first, he must survive the 6 months. Will he do it? You'll have to watch the film for yourself to find out. I personally really enjoyed this film, and I've been reading online, and a lot of people have been comparing it in a way to Snowpiercer, which I agreed with to an extent. There are some correlations with the people at the back of the train in Snowpiercer and the people on the lower levels in The Platform. However, I found The Platform to be slightly more nihilistic, whereas Snowpiercer in the end seemed to portray a more hopeful message. Also, The Platform can get quite violent, bloody, gory. If that's not your thing, I don't recommend it. But if you're interested in a film that has some very interesting social commentary on our current day class structures, it's definitely a very thought-provoking hour and a half. I believe Netflix categorizes it as TVMA, and after watching it, I feel like that translates into definitely an R-rated film. Let me get a bit more of this sour cream right here. I would go ahead and give The Platform a 4.5 out of 5 picantes. Thank you guys for coming along with me today. If you enjoy this content, don't forget to like and share. Drop a comment down below letting me know what you guys are watching right now, or something you want me to eat next. Hit that little bell right there and turn on post notifications so you don't miss any of my new videos. And give me a follow. at NinjaPicante on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Links to all of those will be in the description below. Gracias por sintonizarme. I'm gonna go ahead and finish all this up, and then maybe have a little bit more. Y nos vemos pronto con más Picante.
I am in deep fried heaven.